Hello, I'm going to tell a story about my dog. He was recently in an apartment fire in my previous apartment. He was the only one at home. It was actually the first time we left him at home in about a month. And the story is post-rehabilitation, how he proved to me that he's still the bravest dog in the world. So this is some backstory now. He was in the fire. We left him for about half an hour, and when I came back, the apartment was already burned. The firemen had already put out the fire, but even though my neighbors had told the firemen that there was a puppy inside, they saw another dog leaving the building and so would not listen to anybody. And they kept telling them, no, dog's out, puppy's out, it's fine. And so after a while of this, I was starting to panic. I was looking for him everywhere, didn't see him. So finally went in, found him under a futon, dug him out, got him out. And so now it's been a few weeks since then, and I was really scared about how the rehabilitation process would affect him, and how that would affect his temperament, because he's a really, really smart, really energetic, really crazy brave dog. He's an Australian Shepherd mix. Smartest dog I've ever known. And he was a lot more timid after the fire, and I wasn't sure if it was that he was just affected and traumatized, or if it was the medication, because he had sedatives and different painkillers, all sorts of different things. And so the treatment at first was really, really scary. His whole face swollen up and he couldn't even open his eye or his mouth. And so it's been getting slowly better, and I've been wondering more and more how once he has his full face because it was just the one side of his face that was burned off, how's he going to respond? Is he going to be full energy? Is he going to be scared of certain things now, scared of noises or of heat? Or I was really afraid that he would be terrified to be left alone because of what happened. So it wasn't until very recently that suddenly, all at once, it's like he remembered he was a puppy and suddenly went from sleepy recovery boy to, oh yeah, and was right away knocked over the garbage can and was grabbing stuff off of shelves and was scratching at the door to go out. It was like, oh yes, oh, I remember now. And so I was still wondering how he would be just in terms of bravery and fear specifically. And to clarify first, Blue, his name is Blue, was never an aggressive dog. He is very playful and very, very, very strong. He's got a kind of jaw called scissor bite, so he can tear through literally anything, just about. But the only time once I've seen him bark aggressively at a person, one time in the months of having him, and it was on Halloween, this Halloween. I've only had him for a few months. And so me, a few of my friends, my roommates, were all walking, and we had gone to the parade, and he was totally fine. He was friendly with everybody. He was going up to people in masks, in costumes, in suits. He went up to a 15-foot panda man, totally fine with all of them. Didn't even growl slightly at one person. And it's the end of the night, we're starting to go home, and we're walking, and a group of people is coming past us, and one in the other group thought it would be funny. He had a scary mask on, and he just stepped forward. Bleh, thought it would be funny. The moment he stepped forward and made that noise, and we just jumped slightly, a bark erupted out of Blue like I've never heard in my life. I'd never heard him make a noise like that. And it was just once, just no. And the guy just left right away. He was like, oh, got out of there, didn't even look at us. And so that was the only time I've ever heard Blue made an aggressive noise like that. And so now we're back to post-fire, I'm wondering if he's gonna be the one, you know, scared of things like that. And so what happened was a few days ago, I was sitting on the couch with two of my roommates, and we were looking for something to watch because we just finished another show and just needed something new. And so we were looking through Hulu, just clicking, and we come across one show that I'd never seen that my roommate's dad likes, but she said she never understood. It was weird. So I say, okay, fine, let's put it on, I'll try it, whatever. They put on the show, and within the first few minutes, something about it was really scary to me. I don't know what it was. I remember that there was particularly one character, just had a weird gnashing mouth and beady eyes and was just terrifying, and it showed like a tunnel insight into his thoughts, and it was awful, and it really scared me, and I hadn't been frightened by a cartoon like that in a long time, so it was really weird. So at first I tried to just tolerate it, was saying like, okay, we'll see, whatever. After a few minutes, I was just like, no, I can't, I'm sorry, Nikki, can you please turn this off? And so we actually don't have a TV remote right now because my other roommate was just in the hospital for surgery, and they threw out our remote in his bedding. And so we now use a phone app that we just can hook up to the Samsung TV. So I tell her, please turn it off, can't take it, I'm terrified. And so she grabs her phone, telling me, I can't, it's not working. I said, please just turn it off, just like hit the power button, I don't care, just get it off of the TV, because it was very loud, just like in my face. And so I don't even remember a time being as scared of a cartoon, but I am just turning away at this point from the TV, just saying, please just get it off. And just as I was at the point that I was starting to feel sick and was going to get up to go turn off the TV, Blue was sleeping on his medications, put him out, was fast asleep. As soon as I was at the point that I was just too scared to do anything, he erupts out of his sleep, barking, comes, puts himself between me and the TV, and intimidated the TV for me. In that time, I saw what he was doing, was confused, and just that moment of him standing there for me just like broke me out of it enough to go turn it off. And then as soon as it was off and it was quiet, he immediately just came to me and saw if I was okay. And it was the most amazing moment. I couldn't believe it. I just sat down and thought, wow, you got it. You did protect me. And he came right over to me and just sniffed me and just laid into my body in the way that I've experienced and know that therapy dogs are trained to come and press themselves into you. He did that as just a baby when I was scared and just came, and even he himself still had the cone on and half a face and laid into my body, half asleep, until I felt confident enough to move. He's the bravest pup in the entire world. I love him so much. I realized that day that I do not have to worry about him being afraid, because he is braver and beautiful, more beautiful than anything I've ever met in my life, and I love him.